Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Eric, and I'm back with video number 2 for those of you that are interested in getting involved as adult leaders at the Landing Ministry. Hopefully, our first video helped you get into the know about who we are and where we're coming from and who we're associated to, and the connections that we have there on Purpose Church and the overall purpose and mission and values of our ministry. Now, we're going to be transitioning and talking about what we do and how we do it. And I'd like to break down for you what a typical landing gathering would look like so that as you're visiting and as you're serving, you kind of get the gist of the overall structure. So every gathering, the purpose of the gathering on a weekly basis is to journey with students towards sobriety and towards God. We really have and are a 52-week program because we know that with the students who we're serving, often they're hurt, habit, and hang up. They need a weekly check-in and level of accountability to help them be successful and victorious in their journey towards sobriety and with God. So we really gather to journey and walk with them and ride with them through the seasons of success and the seasons of suffering. That's why consistency in our ministry is so important. That weekly commitment is going to be something that we expect from all of our landing leaders. Also, I want to give you some structure to our actual evening. Every night that we come, our evening runs from 6:30 to 8:30, 2-hour block. And from 6:30 to 7, we have our fellowship time and our chill time, which involves a meal, which we provide on a weekly basis. It can be anything from homemade food to us picking up Del Taco, the value meals that we can order. And during that time, we break bread together, we catch up, and we engage new students and catch up with existing students. And we really, as an adult group, adult leaders, our job is to invest in their lives relationally during that time. Get with them face to face. We don't want to be too busy and running around that we can't sit down and talk with them. And we want to make sure that our returners feel welcome and noticed. But more than anything, we want to make sure our new faces feel like they're broken into a sense of community and connected to other students and meeting several adult leaders. We're at a small enough setting that can be done very easily. We're running at about an average of 25 students on a weekly basis. Right now, we have a larger male population than we do female, but we're believing that God's about to balance that out and blow up our ministry and do awesome things. But that's kind of where we're at now. We also, after that chill time, at about 7, we do a welcome. And each leader will be on a rotation leading these various components to the evening. We do have a script to the welcome. You don't got to read it line for line, but the essence of what we want to get across is a clear description of who we are, what the landing is, and why we gather. And we always announce ourselves and introduce ourselves as we are associated to. Right? My name is Eric, a grateful believer in Christ, and I suffer with anger and violence. That we associate ourselves with our struggle. And all of that is in a script which will be provided to any new leaders. If you're going to lead that welcome time, it's very simple. You could literally read off of the script. The next is our connect activity. And usually one of our leaders lead that portion. It's a high energy, fun, interactive, game often type setting. And we could do anything from separating into groups, into multiple groups, or doing one large group setting activity. And that's always fun and helps us kind of let our hair down and not be so tense or shy. We go into a key tag time right after that. So similar to like an AA, just to help you understand, you get a chip or a coin, right? Each week that you come, it's the same idea with the landing. We honor those first timers with the first time key tag. We go with the week 2 key tag. We have a month 1 and month 3 and month 6 and month 9 and year key tag. And we're just celebrating what God is doing in their journeys on a weekly basis. And those key tags are symbolic to what God is doing in their lives. And it's one of our most celebratory times. And we get all hyped when a kid gets a key tag. The next section is our principles and our scriptural truth. Each section in our curriculum that we work down has a principle that will guide us through our week. And it also has a scriptural truth, which we encourage students to memorize, journal about, and also meditate on and recite at some point. So that is presented during our gathering. We also go into a time of testimony. So this is going to be something new that we're reviving, where we time students and give them opportunity to share with the larger group what God is up to since the last week that we gathered in their journey towards sobriety and towards God. And then the next thing we'll move into is worship, which is a contemplative, reflective, definitely serene time for most of our students. Through music and song and poetry and the arts, right, we connect to God and enter into the presence of God through worship. And often some of our landing leaders will do that, and or we will have a video that will guide us during that time. We'll then move into a large group teaching setting, which happens every week. And the theme for the evening, for example, we just got off of relapse, which was 2 weeks, and then we moved into gratitude, which was 2 weeks. And it's on a 2-week basis that we rotate throughout the 52-week year. And a leader will often lead and teach for 2 weeks if you choose to be on that teaching team. And that's happening as a large group. After that large group teaching, which is where we present the word, present the gospel, and encourage them as a large group, we then move into a small group setting where the various landing leaders will break up and run small groups. The intent is to bring ratio down, and the small group time is led and guided by our small group guidelines. You'll be given a small box, and inside that box is a laminated card which has our small group guidelines. We read that at the beginning of every small group. After we read the small group guidelines and everybody agrees to them, we go around and we do a check-in. And during that check-in, we often introduce ourselves and share how our week has been. And then again, our introductions go something like this. Hello, my name is Eric. I'm a grateful believer in Christ, and I struggle with, and my week has been blah, 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 blah. Kids can pass. They don't ever have to share. Kids can share, but you want to make sure that you're kind of governing their sharing, not allowing it to be too detailed or not allowing them to say anything that will trigger other students. But it's a quick time of sharing. We don't want to let it drag on. After we go through the introductions, we then go through the small group questions that are provided to you on a piece of paper. And every student has those questions, and you as a facilitator, small group leader, will guide that time. And the questions are all centered around our curriculum and our theme for that night. So after that, we usually close out in prayer and pray for our students, and we call it an evening. So I hope that this video gave you a little bit of what we do and how we do it, and talked about the overall structure of our gatherings. You're going to have 2 more videos, and hopefully by then you get a better idea of what the landing is and if this is the ministry that you really want to commit to. Again, we're believing that God is calling adult leaders to journey with our students, and we're excited that you would even consider. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon.